Belizeans voted to take the country's border dispute with Guatemala to the International Court of Justice. And in sport, the CWI president reacts to the Barbados Cricket Association's presidents publicly speaking out against the board's decisions. I'm Ricardo Roberts, and this is Caribbean in 10 for Thursday, May 9th, 2019. I'll be back with the details after the break. Belizeans have voted in favor of taking the country's long-standing border dispute with Guatemala to the International Court of Justice, the ICJ. Preliminary results published today by the Elections and Boundaries Department indicated that 55.4% of voters said yes to the move that was being resisted by the opposition People's United Party. Now, voter turnout was recorded around 59%. The referendum was held just over a year after a similar vote in Guatemala last year, April. That country's citizens overwhelmingly supported going to the ICJ route. The results of yesterday's vote in Belize was a victory for the ruling United Democratic Party of Prime Minister Dean Barrow, who believes the court will settle the issue once and for all. The United States has congratulated Belize on the outcome of the referendum. Assistant Secretary of State for Western Hemisphere Affairs in the U.S. State Department, Kimberly Breer, in a message on Twitter earlier today, said the vote demonstrates democratic action that benefits the people of both countries. Antigua and Barbuda Prime Minister Gaston Brown has confirmed that he has submitted a proposal to his Barbados counterpart, Prime Minister MOTTLEY, indicating his government's interest in purchasing the shares that country owns in LIAT. Now, Brown says the proposal was submitted on Tuesday and the government is anticipating a favorable response. However, there has been no reaction yet from Barbados, which is LIAT's largest shareholder government. The Antigua and Barbuda government move follows a recent meeting of LIAT's shareholder governments last month, when it was agreed that a proposal from Prime Minister Brown regarding the direction of the airline would be examined. Now, during the meeting, Brown presented the proposal, which involves, among other things, a way to finance the keeping of the 3 planes owned by the Caribbean Development Bank. The shareholder governments have been asking other regional governments to provide financial assistance to the Antigua-based airline that services 15 Caribbean countries. Police in Guyana have launched an investigation into the death of one of their own after he was allegedly beaten by a colleague. The Guyana Police Force said in a statement yesterday that the probe into Lance Corporal Carlos Allen's death had already started and more details would be provided in due course. It had been reported that last Saturday, the 25-year-old was involved in a misunderstanding with an older officer that escalated into a confrontation during which the younger cop was beaten. It's alleged that although Allen complained about his injuries, he was not allowed to seek medical attention until later in the day when he started to lose consciousness. He later died in hospital. A post-mortem examination revealed that he died from brain hemorrhage and blunt trauma to the head. Media reports said Allen's superiors only became aware of his death on Tuesday when they realized he had not been reporting for duty. And stay with us, your Midday Sport is next.
My family, they were cracks. You know, I think if I'd gone back and had my own accommodations, that I'm accustomed to. It would have been a different thing. But when you go back and you say, okay, I'll stay with family and so on, after a while they get tired of you, man. Face reality, you know.
Or you get tired of being, yeah, you get tired of bunking, so to speak.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't want less, I don't want
right. Should look good in the moonlight. All these niggas so by mine. Spotlight, moonlight. White tripping, get your mood right.
paper and I write it down. Grab my guitar and I let it all out. It's the only way that I can make it through.
Just a while ago, it was all smiles. A bunch of fake dog, I'm so proud. I seen you on a magazine. Oh wow. Oh, you don't want it.
Cricket West Indies President Ricky Skerritt believes Barbados Cricket Association President Condi Riley will feel embarrassed when he reflects on his media tirade against recent board decisions. In an interview with an Antiguan radio station last month, Riley slammed the board's removal of Englishman Richard Pybus as interim head coach and its change to the entire selection panel ahead of the ICC World Cup in England. Riley, who is also a Cricket West Indies director, claimed the decisions would destabilize the team because the timing is wrong. But speaking on Barbados radio talk show Mason and Guest, Skerritt says Riley's behavior was wrong.
Mr. Riley is president of the Barbados Cricket Association, a highly prestigious body with a tremendous history and legacy. And I think when he looks back on it all, I think he'll feel a little embarrassed about what he did.
What do you mean by that, President?
Well, it speaks for itself. I think he erred, and I think he would not have meant to do what he did. And I hope, I hope that in the final analysis he will look back on it and feel a little bit embarrassed about what he did.
Now, regarding the legal action taken by former Chief Selector Courtney Brown as well as Lockhart Sebastian and Eldin Batiste, who are challenging the board's decision, Skerritt said he is unaware of any formal complaint from the former selectors.
We do not, to the best of my knowledge, have a legal claim before the court for anybody who that I am aware of.
Okay.
In this particular matter.
Right.
So are there lawyers writing letters to each other? Of course. I think that is the state of play at the moment.
In other news now, Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley has hailed former West Indies batsman SEYMOUR Nurse as a true statesman and gentleman on and off the field. She stressed that although Nurse made a name for himself, his entire country and the entire Caribbean back in the 1960s as a batsman of immense class on the West Indies team, he would have in more recent times endeared himself to the countless younger Barbadians through his work as a cricket coach, and Prime Minister made that statement today in a press release. Nurse, who played 29 tests between 1960 and 1969, served as a coach and administrator following his playing career and remained a seminal figure in Barbados cricket. He passed away on Monday at the age of 85 after battling with illness. That's Caribbean in 10. Join us again at 6:30 for Caribbean Newsline. Until then, good afternoon.